morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste Village experience. That is what we are here for, to have a deep, prevailing, unqualified, unchallengeable experience of the truth itself. That might beg the question, well, what is the truth? Well, obviously, we could answer that in many different ways. One of the ways that we could answer it is that it is simply the presence, being very deeply aware and present to the presence of love. In fact, before session began, I was in my little cave, which is really my little prayer area. I like to go there in the morning and just be present and see what inspiration comes through. And I was reading Psalm 69 from the book of Psalms. And this one line jumped out at me. It was, "Oh, that the zeal for your truth might consume me." That the zeal for your truth might consume me. That feels powerful. That feels energetic. To be consumed with zeal for truth. What is zeal? This is a good word. It's one that Charles Fillmore from Unity liked in the 12 Powers. To have this overwhelming zeal for love, for truth, for God, whatever words you want to use, but zeal for all there is, for reality itself, to be overwhelmed with enthusiasm and passion. If we don't have passion or zeal for the truth, then the fire is not burning bright enough to bring the water of our soul to boil. And if the water of our soul is not boiling, then we can't make coffee. Or we can't have the cup of tea. No one wants cold coffee in the morning. I don't care what they say. It won't satisfy me. I don't know how you feel, but for me, it's got to be hot coffee, right, Flo? Yes. And in order to make that water hot so we can have hot coffee, we have to have zeal for the truth. So what is the truth? As I said before, it's all about presence. And that's the unity word of the day, presence. To be fully present to the presence of God. In fact, let me read just the one little bit here from the lesson, the daily word of the day. God's presence goes with me during life's highs and lows. God's presence goes with me. We could also say God's presence is within me. God's presence is all around me. But I need to be present to that presence. I need to be focused on, to be aware of, to have zeal for that presence. Otherwise, it's not something that I'm bringing into my conscious awareness or into my daily life. And this is when we wander off. We wander off into our dreams. We wander off into our judgments. We wander in every possible direction, forgetting that there's only really one direction, and that is the direction into love itself. So I want to bring up on the screen just a little something I was inspired to write this morning. And I want you to read this with me. I'm going to just read it out loud. It's very short. And to me, this is what the zeal for this sacred presence is all about. Here it is. I am who I am, where I am, and when I am. All things are present now, for I am present within all things. There's nothing. Vicki, did I get kicked off again?
Yes, Brother James, but you're back now.
All right. We seem to be having some little juggling going on with our internet. Did you see the message that I just put up?
No.
All right. Well, then I'll put it up again. Let's give it another try. 1 second. Hopefully we will remain. Okay, let me read this one more time. It's worth reading again. So this is all about that sacred presence. I am who I am, where I am, and when I am. All things are present now, for I am present within all things. There's nothing excluded from that which is all pervading. And I am the I am presence I am extending is all in all. I choose to call this allness God, though there is no language or word that can describe this indescribable force. Only love approaches this holy altar. So I choose only this. I choose only love, regardless of the experience or the appearance I encounter. I am that love now. And that's all I need to know. There you have it. What more do you need? But to have zeal for that love, to be passionate, energetic, vibrant. We talk every morning about the Namaste experience, and that is what initiates that experience, vibrancy and passion for love itself. Because everything else is included within that love. We like to use words like God and spirit and whatever else we say. But the experience of all of that just comes down to me being on fire with love. Like that line that you've heard me mention many, many times, something that Jesus said 2,000 years ago. I have come to set the world on fire, and how I wish it was already burning. And it is, because it's burning in me, and it's burning in you. And even if there are small groups like this, those of us who live at Namaste or are part of the extended family of Namaste coming together every day, that's enough. In fact, the only one that needs to get this is me. I choose that now. And I know that each one of you is doing the same. We're choosing this now, to be on fire with this love, this sacred presence that is everywhere at once. How simple is salvation? We just have to stop seeking for other things that are out there somewhere. The world I see holds nothing that I want, really, literally nothing. If we come to the point where we are uncompromising with that one statement, that one realization, that there's literally nothing outside of me that I want or need, because everything outside of me, or at least what seems to be outside of me, is nothing more than a distraction from now, which is another way of saying a distraction from love right now. So to feel that fire, to feel that zeal, and to keep fanning those flames, to keep the oxygen flowing so that that fire burns out of control. Why would I want to be in control of the fire? Let the fire control me. This is the power of zeal, is that it takes over, it overwhelms. You know, we hear in the book of Psalms, where I got that one line. Of course, we know that these Psalms were written by King David. And there's so many times in the Psalms, both when he laments and he calls out, why have you abandoned me? I need you. That's zeal as well. Or when he dances like a crazy person because he's so on fire with love. Would that we but give ourselves in that similar way, in the same way. Would that we but allow that fire to take hold of us. I do see that here. I do feel that here, wherever we are. That's why we come together here 5 days a week, because we want to keep reigniting, because the truth is, and I think deep down we all know this, if we're left to our own devices, it's easy to wander off. It's easy to stop putting wood on that fire. We remind each other to keep fanning those flames, to put another piece of wood, another log on that fire so it burns even brighter. We remind each other of that. And I'm sure this is true of everyone who's on Zoom or YouTube, just as it's true for all of us here at Namaste Village. We support one another. Our mighty companions remind us that there's nothing in this world that I really want. And when I find myself being pulled in the direction of all of those distractions, that's when that fire begins to dim. That's when the heat of that fire begins to dissipate. And then I see all of you. We come together here as we are right now. And it reminds me, as it reminds all of us, don't let that fire go out. And don't put a bushel basket over it. Light a fire on a hill where everybody can see it, because we're called to be the examples of this. We're called to demonstrate that this is not only possible, not even inevitable, that is happening right now. The peace of God is shining in each one of us right now. But we have to claim it. When I lived at Endeavor Academy many years ago, the master teacher used to say, don't go anywhere. Stay right here. And I don't know if he meant physically to stay right there in that chair, in that room, in that association. Maybe, maybe not. But I do know that he meant stay here in this experience. Stay together in this vibrant light. Maybe you've come to the point in the place where you realize there ain't nowhere for me to go anyway. This is a challenge for me, because as most of you know, I'm always feeling the urge to flit about, go different places. And it's something I look at. Is that a need or is that a call? Probably both. But I have to address the need, because that need so often is the uncomfortable energy of just being here, being right now. And then I realize that the call that we all feel is always right now. It's always right here, wherever I am. So don't go anywhere. Stay together. And even if you do leave or go off on a little journey, as we all will, still stay present. Stay within that sacred presence that is present within you now. So I'm glad I was able to hang out long enough to get that out. So now I'll turn to Vicky and let you take it from there.
Okay, Brother James. Happy Holy Silent Wednesday, everybody. You know, again, this is my favorite day because, you know, it's a day to go home. And I love that feeling of home. And that's all that center of who we are is, that center of love, that Christ center, our little soul. It just says, don't leave home, don't leave home, come home. And when we come home, we're free. It's like we can just relax, we can be free. And when and if there's something we're to do, and I do this all the time with every little thing. Someone invites me to go here or says, want to go there. I don't know, I'll ask. And then I do ask, and then I let it go. And James, I want to say you're a great example because James could have 100 ideas a day. I'll go here, I'll go there, I'll sing this, I'll do that, I'll play it here. But you do step back and you wait. And really, that's the key. You wait for the grace to announce itself. And it does. It announces itself in a way that's certain. It isn't, oh, well, this is a good idea. This would be wonderful for everyone. It comes differently when we step back and say, really, Father, thy will be done. What does love want me to do? Isn't love just the same? It's a dance of receiving and giving, surrendering, receiving and giving, letting go of all our ideas, whatever they might be. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let them go. What does love want me to do? What does love want me to say? What should I express? How should I be? How can I be the home, heaven's home, right here, right now? I don't know. And that's that moment of receiving. I don't know, but I'll wait. And it has to come. It's impossible that it doesn't, because love is always announcing itself to us as perfect happiness. I have to go to a wedding over the weekend. What'll I wear? You know, women do a lot about that. What should I wear? I don't know. So I said, all right, you must know. I'll just wait and then you'll tell me. I have to leave Saturday. I suppose you'll tell me by then what to take. And you know what? I will know. And it'll be simple and it'll be clear. And I used to pack everything ahead of time and have 10 dresses to wear. And no, I can't do that anymore. I'll wait. And love will announce itself in a form that's given me to walk through, whether it's a dress to wear, a car to drive, a friend to go with. It will announce itself. And that's why, especially, I love Wednesdays, because it's a day of dedicated listening, a dedication to one purpose, that we are souls of love and light. That's what we are. And maybe some of us are in an incubation period. Maybe we're moving out of that. Who cares? Love is the nourishment. Love is the fruit. Love is the fulfillment. And we're already that when that's all we pay attention to. And let everything else go. And it comes back to us. It has to come back, because what is ours to do is our way of giving. It's our way of giving the light. It's our way, literally, of saving the world. In the Course, Jesus says, listen, you got to save the world. That's no small thing. But it isn't the world of the form and structures we think of. That's why Jesus had such a hard time 2,000 years ago. They're wanting to make him into a king that has armies and controls and has authority. And he says, no, that's not my kingdom. My kingdom is the kingdom of oneness, of love. My kingdom is the kingdom of giving. It's the kingdom of not measuring and counting. It's the kingdom of being in the presence and falling in love and giving of it abundantly, joyfully, with every breath and every step. It's like Calico says, not to let her mind wander 2 thoughts away from God or from love. And that's all that we're doing. We are practicing every day to be consistent and stable. And that's what Dear One meant. He did mean it too. He didn't want anyone leaving the premises. My dad used to be like that too. You got everything right here. Don't leave the premises. But the premises of home. Don't leave the premises of home. That's what got us into this fix anyway. We left the idea of home. And what's home? Union. It's fulfillment. It's everything complete. It's resting and being energized at the same time. It's what that zeal is, that zeal to express and to give of what is giving to us all the time. But unless we are open to receive it, we don't know it. So every morning we come together to give up our ideas. That's what all the surrender is. I don't know. Show me. Show me. Let love speak to me. Let love announce itself. I don't know. Let love. And then we let our ideas go. We receive what is, that presence, that holy presence. We let it in. We give it.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Come on back. Seems our internet is not as fast today. Until she comes back, we'll just hold that vibrancy, that frequency, that love.
Oh, here. Okay, James, you want to take it back?
We're just kind of flitting in and flitting out here today. But boy, we are in the right place. That is for sure. We are always in the right place, but to be amongst these holy, mighty companions who are just holding this vibrancy, that's all we need. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to do. We just have to remember that. But there's everything left to be. So let's be in that frequency of love, in that light-filled, graceful energy of now. And to wrap it up right now, we'll turn to Calico and let her take us home. Good morning, Calico.
Hi, everybody. I'm just contemplating all that's been shared. And it is, it's only staying in this mindset of love. I read in your Rancha, this big, I don't recommend you get it. It's a very verbose novel, but it talks about Jesus in parts of it. And there was one story it shared about Mary had a dinner party and she invited Jesus and all the guests that were coming were so excited because Jesus was going to change water into wine and there's going to be all these magic tricks. And Jesus said to Mary, it was a conversation with Mary, he says, I am so tired of this, of being a magician for people. That's not it. That is not it. And what we're saying is love has no expectations. Love has no expectations of what you're going to wear or if you're going to have something to wear. That's not it. Love is now in this moment, in this present moment. And it really is to just, I was thinking also of a conversation that we had earlier this week about killing people off in your head, which I did a lot of. And I need to define killing off in head is if I want to avoid someone, I'm killing them off. If I don't want to talk to someone, I'm killing them off. And I don't do that anymore. Because in the present moment, I don't look to the past to determine what I need to be doing now. It's very much in the instant of, it's like there's an inspiration and it's like the lights get turned on and I can breathe easier and I just feel like, oh, I'm going to drop them a line, and I'll send someone a text. I don't know why. It's not like I have anything to share with them particularly. It's just that's what the inspiration is in this present moment. And it's not based on, 2 months ago, they were having a hard time and I need to check in on them. None of that goes on in my mind anymore. It's so in the moment. And I love the conversations that we've had this past week because it is really what we've been talking about is mind training. And that's all there is to do, is to continually to check, am I having an expectation of how this is going to turn out? That's not guidance. That's ego direction. And it's kind of like stay in that mindset of what am I thinking and who is doing the thinking? Is it my ego mind or is that loving mind? And it gets very easy to pick it out. I can usually tell immediately and I can defer back to this moment, get present, take in a couple deep breaths and just start over again. And so this week has been wonderful for me because it just has gotten me so present into why I'm doing the mind training and, just what is the point? And the point is Jesus saying it's just love. It's just love. Do nothing. Just love. So anyway, and I say that for myself. That's all I'm saying it for. Anyway, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Calico. Yeah, that's it. It's just love. So just love. Can it really be that simple? It's all just love. So just love. Don't do anything else. And when you find yourself being pulled away from that in your mind, you find these murderous thoughts that come into all of our minds, or these separating beliefs, whatever they may be. They might be just something so minor, or something much more separating, but it's all just love. So just love. Let it be that simple. And to that we say, Amen, 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 y punto. Go out and love everybody. And we love you. Namaste.